If you are a man in your 20s or 30s and you want to build muscle, drop body fat, and get into the best shape of your life, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you want to build a little bit of confidence, you want to fit better into a t-shirt, you don't want to feel like a fucking tree, and you also don't want to feel like a twig, you want to feel like good in your t-shirt when you go out, you want to feel healthy, you want to feel energetic, you want to attract beautiful women into your life, and you look at your current life, you look at your current routine, and it might be full of drugs and vape and weed and alcohol and junk food and a shitty sleep schedule, and you're like, dude, enough is enough. I need to handle this area of my life. I need to start getting in shape. Then this is the only video that you need to watch. I'm going to show you how I went from 195 pounds, lazy, low willpower, no consistency, no idea what to do in the gym, making a shit ton of mistakes, smoking weed and vaping nicotine every day in a PF Chang's parking lot, until I hit the point where I was like, dude, enough is enough. I can't keep doing this. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. This does not feel good. I feel like I'm limiting my fucking potential, and I need to make a change. And I'm going to show you how I went from that into making a little bit of progress, making a whole lot of mistakes, hitting a point where my physique felt mid. It felt like I was spending a lot of time in the gym but not getting the result I wanted to, into currently the best shape of my life at 156 pounds, and I want to get into even better shape. So I signed up for a bodybuilding competition a year out from now. I feel a lot more mentally fit. I don't eat any processed food. I don't drink energy drinks at all. I don't drink coffee past 11 a.m. I'm high on life, and I want that for you too. So I'm going to show you how I did it entirety in this video right here. Let's get it. The first thing that you need to know is the why behind your fitness journey. And no, this is not some Tony Robbins motivational speech, okay? This is the brutal truth behind it. If you don't have a strong why, it's just not gonna happen, right? Because there's gonna be some plateaus, there's gonna be some times where life becomes a little bit stressful, work becomes a little bit stressful, the cravings are tough, the sugar cravings are really hidden, the binge eating disorders are kind of hidden tough, and you're like, fuck man, how am I able to keep pushing? This feels impossible, it feels like I'll never do it. But if the why is strong enough, you will keep yourself pushing through it. You will find a way out. Why should you do this? Well, humans are motivated towards pleasure, and then they avoid pain. You can use these two motivations, running towards pleasure, running away from pain. So getting into the best shape of your life, there's benefits with that. Staying in the worst shape of your life, there's negative effects of that. So you can use these as motivations. Well, being in good shape, what are the benefits of it? Number one is confidence. Feeling like the motherfucking man, or the feeling like that motherfucking guy, that dude, that guy, the video game character. You are the main character of this video game, of your life. That feels good. It feels good when you're taking ownership and you're not dragged down from these vices, and you're staying consistent, and you're hitting a hard workout, and you're seeing the progress from the past day, from the past week, from the past month, from the past year, and you're like, dude, look at this. I used to be here and now I'm here. I just gotta keep going. The self-respect is different when you're on a consistent routine and you're taking care of your health and fitness. Confidence is everything, man. The character you build bleeds off into every other single area of your life. So the willpower, the discipline, the consistency that you build up, it's the same brain. You're fighting the same brain. It's you versus you. So all these temptations that pop up where it's like, oh, I got to give in to food, I got to skip the gym. And once you beat that, you're building up discipline, you're building up willpower, and that area of your mind will apply into your relationships, it'll apply into your career, it'll apply into your friendships, every other struggle that comes up. That's what life's about, man. It's building your mind, it's building your body, it's building your spirit. You become addicted to the process of just getting better. Attracting a quality partner. Half you dudes want baddies. Half you dudes are talking about, damn, I want her, I want her, I want her. Well, if there's a female version of you, would you date her? Probably not, dude. You probably look at her like, okay, I'm okay. Maybe if my friends don't know, maybe on a drunk night. But you don't want that, man. You want the highest quality partner. You want a bad bitch. You want a baddie. So you got to become the highest quality version of yourself. And part of that is getting into the best shape of your life. Building good, healthy habits to live a long, quality life. You want to live a long, quality life. You want to be able to enjoy retirement, have grandkids, spend time with them, not be stuck in a wheelchair, not be stuck with health problems, not be stuck with joint pain and achiness and tightness. Being a good role model for your family and loved ones. What kind of father and husband and son are you going to be when your stomach hangs over your belt? When your stomach hangs over your belt, when you have man boobs, when you have love handles, how are you going to look your son in the eye and tell him, hey son, you got to work hard in life? And he looks up at you and he sees your body fat just hanging off your t-shirt. right? How are you going to be 100% authentic telling him he's got to eat healthy and he's got to make good decisions when you know you're not making good decisions when it comes to your own life? You're going to sound like a hypocrite. You're going to feel like a hypocrite. How are you going to feel like you deserve the highest quality girl when you're not putting in work on yourself? You can't. You can't. You would not be a good role model. And that's facts. I wouldn't feel like a good role model. I feel like I'm letting my family down. Being healthy, being energetic. I mean, dude, you stack it on top of each other. There's no reason why anyone should not be in the gym. Being in bad shape, what does that mean? Well, energy crash after 10 p.m., 10 a.m., right? You feel tired after each meal. Your digestion is slow. You feel tired no matter how much sleep you get. You feel insecure. You don't like the way you look or feel. You look at yourself in pictures and you're like, I don't like the way I look. And then, you kind of just forget about it 2 or 3 days. And then that's it. That energy radiates outward into your relationships and work. Poor role model, poor health, poor longevity. You feel achy, you feel tired, you run out of breath, and you don't attract a quality partner. So feel into this pain because you're probably experiencing some of these things right now, some of these negative effects. So if you don't get in shape and stay consistent with it 90% of the time and eventually get to decent shape, good shape, you're going to continue experiencing these negative effects, man. And you're going to sit down one day at 80 and be like, damn, what if I could have been? Self-talk, this is why people quit after a New Year's resolution, after a week in the gym, 2 weeks in the gym, 3 months in the gym, they quit. They quit because they have the wrong self-talk around it. This is example of wrong self-talk. Oh, this is a temporary change. I just need to get this fat off, then I'll go back to normal. Let me restrict myself like crazy and just go all out. Let me bulk up super quickly. Let me cut down super quick. Once I get to my goal, I'll be happy. I have positive self-talk no matter what. We live in this wishy-washy world where it's like, oh yeah, hype yourself up no matter what. Feel good about yourself no matter what. Nobody body shame each other. Nobody shame each other. Oh yeah, just talk to yourself positive, lovey-dovey, airy-fairy, lovey-wovey. Fuck that shit. If you fucked up, if you cheated on your diet, if you didn't do the right action, you should not feel good about that. You shouldn't be like, oh yeah, it's okay, ha. No, you bask in the regret. You sit there the next morning, you're like, dude, I don't feel good. And I'm not gonna try and pretend I feel good. I don't feel good. I fucked up last night. That's not okay. And you don't turn into a crybaby, but you bask in the regret and you understand what that feels like. And you take a second, because next time when you're confronted with that decision, with that craving, you're going to remember that emotion. That emotion is what creates change. So action-based self-talk. I will suffer through this process. Another wrong mindset to have. So all this entire self-talk that knocks people off is this thinking of fat loss and fitness and everything as a temporary change. You're doing it for the end result. You think it's temporary and you think you have to suffer through it, right? If you have these mindsets when it comes to the gym and getting in the gym, you're not gonna get your end result. You're just not. It's not gonna happen. Right. The right self-talk, the right mindsets have. Well, this is a lifestyle change for life. That's how this shit works. It's a lifestyle change for life. You don't think about what can get you results in 3 months. You don't think about what can get you results in 6 months. You think, okay, what can set me up and get me to the shape that I want to, and then be able to sustain that for the rest of my life. Because the same plan I would follow to get to cut down this body fat in 2 months is probably not the same one I would do to cut down in 12 months. It'd be a lot more sustainable, right? So you gotta think about what can you sustain. This will be uncomfortable. Yeah, it will be. It's going to be uncomfortable, and there's going to be hunger, and there's going to be cravings, and you accept that, and you embrace it, and you commit to building up a character that can handle these things. I'll never be ultimately happy with an end physique. The happiness and health and pride and confidence comes from consistently showing up for my health and fitness on a daily, weekly basis. That one's important. You're never going to be happy. If I stopped working out right now and didn't pay attention to my diet, I would probably have the same physique in about a week, and then my confidence would go to complete shit. I would hate that. I would almost hate myself because I'm not consistently showing up for my health and fitness. You reach a goal, you feel good about it, you hype yourself up, and you set another goal. That's how this shit works. I have action-based self-talk. So you The self-talk is merely based on the actions. You don't look in the mirror after a hard workout where you put in work that day, you logged in your sets and reps, you progressively overloaded, you train close to failure, you got your pre-workout meal in, you've been making progress, and then you look in the mirror and then you're like, fuck, man, I wish my chest stood out more. I still got man boobs, I still got love handles, I still feel like a twig. No, fuck that. You just put in a hard workout that day and you're letting that negative self-talk, that inner critic, talk you out of feeling good about yourself. If you put in the right action, then all it is a fuck yeah, let's go. You say it out loud to yourself, like, fuck yeah, let's go, dude. You hype yourself up. That's what's gonna keep you consistent. That's what's gonna have the positive self-talk. If you say no to a craving that you would usually say yes to, you say, fuck yeah, let's go. I don't beat myself up for messing up. That's not an excuse to mess up. You're not supposed to mess up. But if you do, understand that it happens and you don't beat yourself up and you hop back on track instantly. It's not about whether you mess up or if you don't. Because you're going to mess up either way. You're going to make a mistake. You're going to hit a plateau. You're going to give into a craving. What matters is how quickly you get back on track. Do you spend a week regretting that craving and falling into a negative spiral? Do you spend a month? Or do you spend a day? Or do you spend an hour? And after that regret, you're like, okay, no. We got to hop back on track. I will need to find a new coping mechanism for my emotions instead of skipping the gym, junk food, etc. This is huge. Just because you're going through a stressful life event, just because you're depressed, just because you're anxious, doesn't mean you're, just because you're emotional, just because your girl broke up with you, whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. I understand. I'm not saying ignore your emotions. I'm saying accept your emotions, embrace them, but you can take action despite your emotions in that moment. That's what you have to understand. People are like, work is too much, life is too much. It's not that it's like work is taking up their schedule. It's just the fact that you got a new responsibility at work. Maybe you received a pay decrease. Maybe your boss yelled at you. Maybe, that girl rejected you. And now you're full of stress in your mind. You have that like stress response. You have that raised cortisol. You get that tight feeling in your chest. And you over time, over years, your stress response, your response to short-term stress, this cortisol in your body, has been unproductive habits. You label stress as bad, and then you take a negative action because you've labeled it as bad. Stress equals negative thoughts, equals negative emotions, which equals negative habits. Instead, you want to label short-term stress as good, okay? You want to reframe short-term stress as good. Short-term stress is cortisol, short-term stress is energy, short-term stress is focus and motivation. And you rewire that action, that habit that you have, and it's going to take some time, but you label short-term stress is good. This means my senses are heightened. Depression is good. It means I need to go connect with other people. It means I need to do something about my situation. It means that I need to get more sunlight. I need to exercise more. This is good. And then you have positive thoughts around it, which leads to positive actions, which lead to positive habits, positive routine. Okay? You gotta stop labeling your emotions as bad, and you need to find a new coping mechanism for your emotions to relieve those emotions, to make you feel better. That one's huge. Do not underestimate that. Let's talk about the timeline of your fitness journey, okay? When you can expect this timeline, you can prepare for it, and you can understand what's going on throughout it, and eventually a lot of people get into the gym for like 3 months, make a little bit of progress, and then get comfortable. This is how you don't get comfortable and reset your progress. At first, before starting your fitness journey, you are in a fear state right now. You might be in a fear state of anxiety, overwhelm, and fear. You don't even know what to expect. You don't have a good workout routine. You've never made a whole lot of progress before. Maybe you've never committed to anything before. Maybe the meal prep just seems like a lot because you love your junk food, you love your sugar, you love your cravings, you love your Taco Bell. You're like, fuck, man, I have low willpower. I don't know if I can do this. You start to doubt yourself. And then you hop into a routine. The first week is excitement. You're excited. And then you drop. After maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, the motivation that you once had is gone, but that's normal. It's okay. Then the mind games start kicking into play. Well, I haven't made a lot of progress yet. It's been a month, 2 months. Where the fuck is my results? My body hasn't changed at all. Keep going. If you keep going, eventually you're going to develop habit formation. All these things are going to become automatic, and it's going to feel easy to go to a gym and stick to your meal prep as long as you do it consistently. Then you're going to hit something called pink cloud syndrome, where people start getting comfortable. And that's where you have to stay strong for at least a year to really hone this in, and then even after. So let's talk about it. And once you prepare for this, you can take advantage of this timeline, know which level you're in, and know what the next level is. Level 1, day 0, is fear and anxiety and overwhelm. What's going to happen if this happens and that happens? What if? How am I going to get to the gym on Tuesdays when I have to stay extra at work? What if I can't be perfect? What if I mess up? Can I actually do it? I'm saying it in a whiny little bitch voice because that's honestly what it is. It's the negative self-talk on your shoulder. It's your inner critic. It's the fear. It's the anxiety. It's the overwhelm. And you got to turn this part of your brain off and take the smallest step in front of you and not let yourself get overwhelmed. Ask yourself, what if I don't start? What if you don't start? You're worrying about all these things about what if you start? What if I start? What if I start? What if this happens and this happens? Shut up, dude. Shut up. That's why you're stuck. What if you don't start? What if you don't start taking care of your health and fitness? What if you stay in the same routine that you're in right now? What if you keep vaping, smoking weed, and eating shit food and having a shitty sleep schedule? You're going to stay insecure. You're going to be a poor role model. You're not going to live a long life. You're not going to live a quality life. You're never going to become that dude that you want to be. You're going to spend the rest of your life insecure. That's what's going to happen if it doesn't happen. So however hard this might seem, the opposite, the compromise, is much harder. So what's going to happen if you don't start? That's what you need to start thinking. Starting your fitness journey and committing to a process, it's not about what you're losing. Oh, I'm losing going out with my friends on Friday night. I'm losing the amount of alcohol I want to drink. I'm losing the vape. I'm losing the weed. I'm losing the junk food. I'm losing my free time because I got to meal prep and grocery shop and go to the gym. No, it's not about what you're losing, dude. You constantly think in the negative way. You have to cut out that mindset. Now, that's why I'm so big on self-talk. It's about what you're gaining. You're gaining life, you're gaining prosperity, you're gaining confidence, you're gaining health, you're gaining energy, you're gaining pride, you're gaining the ability to one day look your son in the eye and tell him, hey son, you got to work hard. I went through this struggle and this struggle and this struggle, but I was able to push through it. And he looks at you and he sees that you're fit and healthy and you have energy in your eyes and you're actually fucking about it. That's why you're doing this. So you can attract the woman that you want. So you can feel good about yourself. That's why you're doing this. You're gaining all those things. You're not losing shit. Sure, you might lose a few friends that don't really support you. You might lose a few friends that, smoke weed and do drugs and all that. Who the fuck cares, bro? You're going to outgrow some people. Level 2, day 1 to day 7 is excitement. It's the first week. Okay, be prepared and acknowledge that you're in this phase. Everything's hippie fucking hoorah. Hippie hoorah, whoop doody doo. This feeling is going to go away very, very soon. And there's going to be a drop. Expecting the drop is key and will allow you to not get lost in the upcoming lows. And that is where most people crumble. That is where most people fucking crumble. They go through this excitement phase. They're all, dude, this is amazing. I'm motivated. I can stick to my meal prep. You announce it on social media. You post pics of you on your story of you going to a gym. And then within day 7, everyone's like, what happened to Joey? What happened to Patrick? What happened to Nick? Are you still going to the gym? You're like, oh, no, life got too much. The diet is the hard part. Ha, ha, ha. It's not funny. It's really not funny. Level 3 to week 1, month 3, the mind games. The mind games, week 1 to month 3. These are where the mind games start coming about. You will start to doubt yourself. You followed the diet and the workout plan, but you don't really look much different. You've lost a few pounds. You maybe gained a few pounds if you're trying to bulk up, but nothing looks much different. Maybe you're getting a little bit stronger. You're improving your form. Stressful life events can happen here. You can't handle the stress, and you go back to skipping the gym and binge eating. Maybe you mess up once, then the negative self-talk starts playing. Just understand the mind games are a tricky one, man. Mind games are a tricky one, especially if you're trying to cut weight. Level 4, month 3 and so on, is pink cloud syndrome. Pink cloud syndrome is when everything feels a little more automatic now. You've developed the right habits. You're making healthier choices with food. You're seeing a little bit of progress. You're saying no to cravings. You're building willpower. And you look back 3 months ago and you're like, damn, I actually made a whole lot of progress. You're hitting the gym even when you don't feel like it. Everything feels like it's on the right track. This is when people get comfortable. You made a little bit of progress. You feel like you can lose fat whenever you want. You lost the amount of weight you wanted to. You lost the 20 pounds, the 15 pounds. You gain a few pounds of muscle. You start eating out more. You make excuses. You're like, let me just take a week off. You take the foot off the fucking gas pedal. And this is where people fuck up. Pink cloud syndrome. Everything feels nice and daisy and the sky's full of pink clouds. What you have to understand here is the craving and the old mindsets are still there. They're still there. They're still lingering. You still got a while to go to really be at a healthy weight with rock solid habits and muscle mass to keep your metabolism high. Like I said, this is a lifestyle change. This is when people get comfortable and fall back into their old ways and they lose that momentum. What you have to understand here is as soon as you catch yourself slipping, as soon as the pink clouds start hitting and you're like, dude, this actually feels pretty good. I think I got this down. You keep fucking pushing. You keep fucking pushing. When life gets easy, when it feels like everything's automatic, when you're driving the car, everything feels automatic, this is when you step on the fucking gas pedal and milk it, because everything feels automatic, everything feels smooth. That's when you go hard, especially if you're in a bulk or just getting into your fitness journey. The first few months are just developing the right habits. Now you actually get to train hard. You've developed the right form. You get to really push. This is where you can milk your fitness journey for everything that it fucking has. Especially if you're just starting off, because you're going to experience newbie gains. So you really got to push it here. You got to double down on the gas pedal. Level 5, month 6 plus, staying strong. You still need accountability, acknowledgement, pride, self-talk of the new identity, and ongoing support. You need to set new goals, and you need to keep that. So let's talk about that first. You need to keep up the identity that you are this new person. You are not the old person, the old you, who just gave in a junk food every now and then, who kept skipping food. You are this new person. I am someone who goes to the gym 3 to 5 times a week. I get my steps in. I eat healthy food. I prioritize my protein intake. I don't hang out with people who don't do that type of stuff. I am a healthy person, holistically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically. I am this new person. And you need to set new goals, because that will keep you accountable to it instead of just falling off. So if you went from 180 to 160 and now you're comfortable, cool. Now go into a lean bulk, or set yourself as a goal of, hey, I want to maintain my body weight. I'm still going to check in my weight 3 times a week. As soon as I wake up, I'm still going to focus on getting stronger in the gym. Still going to focus on hitting this protein intake number. I'm still setting new goals to work towards. Maintaining your body weight is actually a hard thing to do. If you've been in these cut cycles and bulk cycles, like intentionally maintaining your body weight and going to the gym and tracking your calories to make sure you're maintaining, it actually takes a little bit of work, right? Here's why it's so important to keep up the habit in different environments and situations as well. Because it's one thing to stick to your habit and routine in a certain context. I have so many clients who stick to a routine here and then leave and go on vacation and they can't stick to it. What that does is it deepens the strength of the habit, because now you're able to keep up the routine and show for your health and fitness on a consistent basis, no matter where you're at. It's different. It's like your brain hasn't built up the habits and automation when you leave your hometown, when you leave your routine, when you leave your regular sleep and wake time, and you have to do it in a different situation. There's a little more discipline and willpower required. You haven't built up those habits in that different situation. So it's important to keep showing up. As life events happen, after stressful events happen, it really strengthens this character that you are a gym person. Maybe you mess up once and then negative self-talk starts coming about. Like you skip a day in the gym, you start binging it a little bit, and then that negative self-talk comes in, that inner critic, and then you lose momentum, and then you get back in. Justifications, excuses, your inability to stick to something for the long term. Expect this. Expect your mind to play tricks on you. Expect your brain to play tricks on you. This is all part of the process. You might be wondering things like, how long can I actually keep this up? And I miss my old lazy routine. It's like I'm putting in work, but I'm not seeing the results. Should I keep doing this? How long can I actually keep this up? If you're wondering all these, if you're experiencing all these, all you have to understand is you just got to push through it. You just got to push week 1 to month 3. You got to develop the habit automation. You got to make these things into a habit. You got to see progress. And that's not going to happen for 3, 6, 12 months where you really start to see the results, and then you're addicted to the process. All right, these are the best tips for your fitness journey so you can finally get in shape, be successful with it, build muscle, and lose fat. Let's get straight into it. The first one, why do you want to commit to this fitness journey, and what happens if you don't commit? We talked about this in the beginning, and I'm revisiting them because they are so important. There's going to be some hard times. There's going to be some struggles. There's going to be some plateaus. There's going to be some times when you're trying to bulk up and you're eating past your comfort zone and you feel a little full and you're like, dude, I've been putting in so much work. But in reality, it's only been 2 weeks. And you're like, oh, dude, I don't like the way I look. Yeah, dude, it's going to take some time. A lot of people think about fitness when they get into it. They're like, okay, what can I look like in a week, in a month, 2 months, 3 months? You got to think about it in a different spectrum. You got to think about, okay, 6 to 12 months from now, what is the potential of my body and what it could look like? How can I start working towards that? And only think 6 to 12 months ahead. Have weekly goals, have monthly goals. Those are great, but don't expect to look significantly different for 6 to 12 months. That's going to prevent you from burning out. That's going to prevent the anxiety. That's going to prevent the suffering. You're going to go through some pain, but the suffering is completely made up in your head because of the timeline that you give yourself. If you look up every single week and you're like, my body's not any different, then yeah, you're going to go through a lot more unnecessary suffering than you have to. Now, throughout that painful process, you keep revisiting the why and then the what happens if you don't commit. That's going to keep you motivated. That's going to keep you disciplined. That's going to keep you structured. Action-based self-talk. Action-based self-talk it is positive action-based self-talk. We don't just go to brunch on Sundays. We don't just eat fast food on Fridays and say, I love myself either way. Oh, it's because I love myself and I deserve a break. That's positive self-talk. That's airy-fairy, positive, whoop-de-doo-doo, positive self-talk. We have action-based positive self-talk. We reward the actions that we take in order to get to our goal, in order to love ourselves, in order to take care of our health and fitness. If you did the right action, then you reward it. Then you're like, fuck yeah, let's go. If you hit a hard workout today, if you've been losing half a pound this week, if you said no to the cravings, then it's a fuck yeah, let's go. You give yourself that internal reward. I always thought this was like kind of weird, but all it's doing is it's finishing the circuit of creating a habit. You have a cue, a craving, a response, and a reward. All our habits are created because we experience a trigger for them, we experience a craving for them, we do the actual response for the habit, we do the actual behavior, and then we're rewarded after, either through some sort of dopamine, right? That's all how bad habits form, good habits form. We can internally reward ourselves by giving ourselves that, fuck yeah, let's go. Let's go, dude. Let ourselves feel good about it. But you actually need to feel good. You can't just be like this wishy-washy, oh yeah, cool, yeah, okay, cool. No, fuck yeah, let's go. Your environment, set up your environment for success. You can't try to lose weight and build muscle if you look at your current environment and you keep driving down the same roads that triggers you to go get Taco Bell and McDonald's and those cheat foods, and then you look at your house, you look at your room, it's messy, your car's messy, and you look, the peanut butter's right there, the chocolate chips are right there. I kid you not, throw out the junk food, throw out the bad foods, keep them out of sight, out of mind. If you live with roommates, if you live with other people, if you live with your family, what can you do? Just set up your environment for success. There are things that you could do. The content you consume. Delete the Uber Eats, delete the DoorDash, delete the accounts that you follow on Instagram, the foodie accounts that keep reminding you of food and making you hungry. Stop spending so much time on social media. Stop spending so much time consuming content. This stuff, I swear to God, when you wake up and you consume the first things on Instagram, especially the Reels page, it is the most terrible thing. The Explore page, it's just girls twerking and guys in super shredded shape on steroids, and it's the most mindless content of all time, man. It's not just doing justice for your brain. It's not loving your brain. It's not loving your brain health. You just think so much more clearly when you're not consuming so much content, because you don't have a bunch of thoughts floating through your head of this person, this person, this person. You got to think clearly about your own day. Your friends, this is a big one. Your friends, your roommates, your family, if they're unhealthy, I'm not saying cut them out completely. I mean, I spend a lot of time by myself, and I really cherish that time, and I've come to enjoy my own energy. So I'm not saying you have to cut them out, but understand that if you want to be healthy, you have these values of the person you want to be, and your friends don't share those values. Those people are only going to hold you back from being that version of you. Because if you had friends that had the same values, they would push you. You would feel a sense of insecurity around them or discomfort, and you'd be like, damn, dude, I got to go harder. These dudes are pushing. These dudes are way stronger than I am. I got to go harder, right? So these friends, they will drag you down. I'm not saying cut them out, but just understand that your environment, your peers have a strong influence on your actions. Structure, guidance, accountability, setting monthly goals, weekly goals, 3-month goals, and daily actions that get you to your long-term goal, and having daily and weekly reflections. Your top 3 goals today, top 3 goals yesterday. How would I rate yesterday? What happened? Did you give into a craving? Why did it happen? Did you skip the gym? Why did it happen? What can you do better next week? I just had a client right now, and he was like, oh, I got my protein in 5 out of 7 days. I was like, dude, that's amazing. You hit it for 5 out of 7 days. Congratulate yourself. It's a lot better than the previous months. However, those 2 out of 7 days, what happened? Were you busy at work? What went on those 2 out of 7 days? He's like, oh, well, I woke up late. Okay, well, could you have meal prepped breakfast? So even if you woke up late, you could have still had a quick protein breakfast. And I was like, what'd you have at lunch? He's like, oh, I got something at work. And I was like, well, could have had something that was more protein centric, healthier, can help you hit your goals at work? And he's like, okay, I could have. And that's where that accountability and that structure and that reflection kick in to make sure you do better next week. Otherwise, you're just in this vicious cycle of never making progress. Bask in the regret. If you mess up, don't just congratulate yourself. Don't just forget about it. Bask in the regret. Let yourself feel pain for not hitting the right action. Damn, dude. I was doing so good. Day 1 through day 5, Monday through Friday. Then day 5, Friday night, I messed it all up. I binge ate like 2,000 calories. Fuck, dude. I mean, if I keep doing that, I'm going to stay in the shape I'm in. I'm just going to stay not liking the way I look. Dude, I can't keep doing this to myself. And you let yourself bask in that regret. That does something for you next time because you really remember it. Instead of doing what the normal person does, is just forgets about it. I don't want to feel bad about myself, so I'm just going to forget about it. No. Bask in regret and celebrate the wins. Take a moment to really... Ollie, you've been doing good this week. You did this, this, and this way better than you did last week. You made these accomplishments compared to last month. Fucking amazing job, dude. Just keep it up. Keep going. Having a morning routine. As soon as I wake up, my phone's on the other side of the room. I'm forced to get up out of bed, hit that turn off alarm. But before I do that, I turn on the lights. So the lights kind of blind me, force me to wake up. I turn off the alarm and I tell myself, all I got to do is immediately hop in the cold shower. I don't have to start my day, but I got to hop in the cold shower. Hop in the cold shower, have my pre-workout meal, throw my meal preps in my gym bag, and I get out the house. And I'm setting a game with myself of how quickly I can get out the house to go to a gym. And it's I've been hitting 4:10 at my earliest time, or 4 o'clock at my earliest time. I've been waking up at 3:50 a.m., heading out to the gym at 4 a.m., and I want to beat that time. So all these things are the best tips that I have. Daily and weekly reflection, morning routine. Getting a morning workout in will make you so consistent because you become the type of person that just does it as soon as he wakes up. Structure, guidance, accountability, your friends. Understand your friend group, your peer group has a big influence on you. The content you consume, cut out the Uber Eats, cut out the DoorDash, cut out the negative content, stop spending so much time consuming content. Your environment, your physical environment, what does it have? What does it remind you of? How can you set it up for success? Action-based self-talk. Constantly remind yourself, why do you need to do this? Why do you want to commit to this fitness journey? Why are you doing this? And then what happens if you don't commit? What happens if you don't give in? What happens if you give in to a craving? What happens if you keep skipping the gym? And with this, man, this is my best tips. This is the past 4 or 5 years in one presentation. If you need direct help with this, if you resonate with this, if you want direct guidance and structure and accountability and a meal plan that has 100+ different healthy, enjoyable, well-balanced meal ideas that can keep you healthy and energetic and can help you hit your goals. If you want a course that can help you understand how to lift the right way, how to train the right way, how to lift the right way when it comes to proper form and body mechanics and posture and the right sets and the right reps, and you don't want to overthink your workout routine, and you see all this stuff on the internet and you're like, dude, I just need someone to go to that is like the one source who I could just depend on, who gives me the workout routine, gives me a nutrition plan, gives me that structure, gives me that accountability, and holds me accountable to it, man. It makes me commit to the process, and when he sees me slacking off, gives me a gentle nudge, maybe a hard nudge sometimes, say, dude, this is important to you. We got to hop back on track. If you want that in your life, if you want to fast track your progress when it comes to building muscle and losing body fat, then DM me fat loss on Instagram at CoachXAli. DM me fat loss on Instagram at CoachXAli. And I'll send you the details and we'll talk about the program and if it's the right fit for you. Besides that, hope you got some value out of this. Bada bing, bada boom, I'm out of here.